What 2018 Halloween did to the horror slasher genre is downright criminal. Ever since that movie came out, we have been just hit with an onslaught of remake, reboot, sequels with the exact same title as the original movie that it's rebooting, remaking, and is also a sequel to. Ever since then, we've had Halloween 2018, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scream 5, which is not called Scream 5, it's just called Scream, and now we have I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, I Know What You Did Last Summer as a horror movie slasher franchise is probably not anybody's favorite. Like, when most people talk about the slashers in horror, we talk about Jason, we talk about Freddy, we talk about Ghostface, we talk about Chucky, we talk about Michael Myers. No one talks about the Fisherman, mostly because, to be honest with you, he is practically just a knockoff, less interesting Ghostface. He's Ghostface, but with less personality. The same way I Know What You Did Last Summer is Scream, but with less personality. Scream is iconic because of the personality infused into the story and the characters. I Know What You Did Last Summer is just a bunch of pretty people from the 1990s in a horror slasher film. In the 2025 version is no different. The story here pretty much is somewhat the same as the original 1997 version, except for them actively hitting somebody and causing someone to die and covering it up. They were just pretty much on the side of a mountaintop watching the fireworks on the 4th of July when a car comes turning sporadically and ends up pretty much falling off the cliff. They try to help them. They actually do try to help them. Actually, I don't even know how this is anyway like the last movie. They actually do try to help this person from falling. They care. They try to be heroic to some extent, but once that thing falls off the cliff, it's like, what can you do? None of us here are supermen, women. We just regular people. We got money. And to some extent, that's kind of super, but money can only go so far. Once a truck falls off a cliff, money's dried up. This ain't 1970s. We can't make $1 million man. At this point, this man's dead. Year later, someone sends a note just like the last movie that says, I know what you did last summer. And then a person with a fisherman slicker goes on a killing spree in a revenge murders to take out these hot people one by one. And just like that first movie, well, actually, the first movie, I didn't go back, but I have seen it before. I'm not going to lie to you. I never felt any sort of horror scares or anything like that towards the characters in the first movie. Me personally, I think all the characters in the first movie kind of deserve to get killed, because if a nigga hit me with their car and then decide to dump my body off, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm killing y'all niggas. I mean, murder's bad and all. You tried to accidentally murder me, I'm gonna purposely murder you back. Here, they didn't, like I said, they didn't accidentally murder anybody. You know, they was just having fun on the side of a mountain. The guy starts driving sporadically. He goes off the cliff and somebody's mad that they didn't do the proper things to save him. And now they coming back to kill him. And I do kind of feel bad for them. But these characters in this movie are really goddamn stupid. So I can't feel bad for them or have any sort of tension when their characters are in danger, because every character in this movie moves so lackadaisically and casually until they're about to get killed. It's like they don't know that someone's after them. But the thing is, they do know that someone's after them. I feel like all of these characters could have survived this situation if they took any initiative to protect themselves, get the police involved, stay together. But everybody just kind of goes on their own little separate ventures. And I like a lot of these characters here. I think this cast is extremely charismatic. I think they're more charismatic than the original cast. They're not just pretty faces. Tyreek Withers, Chase Sue Wanders, I think her name is. Madeline Klein's really good here. I think this movie is fun. I think it's trying to be fun. I don't think this movie takes itself even as seriously as it should. These movies are taking more of a page out of Scream's book, even though I know that the original film is written by the exact same guy, but I think this movie is more Screamish than even that original movie. This one is way more self-referential. This one is way more comedy in it. This one is has a good sense of humor about itself. Towards the end of this movie, it kind of even admits to itself in the audience that, yeah, no one really does give a shit about us as a horror franchise. That's how self-referential it is. Pretty much say, yeah, you're right. As a horror franchise, no one really gives a shit. No one really cares. People are trying to forget us. No one really gives a shit that we exist. And to a certain extent, I gave it applause for at least understanding where it stands in the horror slasher genre. This time they came out, they tried to show the world. They tried to gain your love. They showed some sense of personality. Did it work out all the way through? No, there's a lot of plot holes and stupid shit in the story that drags it down. It makes it not as fun. And towards the end, it just gets so Screamish to a point that I'm just like, well, why do you even need to exist? The last third act of this movie is legit just the end of a Scream movie. Every Scream movie, it's the killer revealing themselves, going on a little insane monologue with these ticks and going, oh, but I almost got you. It's literally Scream in the last third act of this movie. And not only that, the killer is so predictable if you just think about it for more than like 3 seconds. The one thing that all of these movies has done since that 2018 Halloween movie is bring back the legacy character, the final girl, to battle it out and for help for the new generation. So Jennifer Love Hewitt's here. Freddie Prinze Jr. is here. Everybody's here from pretty much that last movie, except for Ryan Phillippe. I guess no one really fucks with Ryan Phillippe like that. I don't know. But everybody's here. Yes, even her. I know what you're thinking. Her too? Yes. The plot becomes overly convoluted. Kind of doesn't make sense. The character's motivation, the killer's motivations, may I say, doesn't really make sense when they get down to what it is they're doing these kills for. And there's a kill in this movie that don't make sense when one of the killers explain why they are even killing people to begin with. This person was going to do what you wanted them to do if you just let them live. But outside of that, if you don't think about it too hard, turn your brain off, just have fun watching a dumb little fun slasher film, this movie's pretty goddamn good. Yeah, I mean, again, it's a dumb little fun slasher film. If you just don't think about it, you'll have fun. I had fun when I didn't think about it, and I was just going with it. Started to be like, this movie's kind of stupid and kind of bad when I started to think about it. So just don't think, have fun, see some cool slashing kills, and eat the popcorn, watch the beautiful people get killed, and you'll have a great time at the movies. And that's why I'm going to give I Know What You Did Last Summer a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you disagree and you're like, no, Kyle, this is actually the greatest horror slasher film ever, I'm actually the biggest fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer, actually, well, hey, man, subscribe. I say a lot of different opinions here. Maybe this time we didn't twin up. We didn't click up. But next time we might. But the only way for you to know if we do is by hitting that subscribe button. And if you're new here and you made it all the way here to the end of this video, hey man, like and subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, well, hey, leave a like. You know what I mean? You're not new here. You know what we do here. Thank you for watching. And as always, good and bye.